I'm Dr. Peter Mansoor, Colonel, United States Army retired. I teach military history at The Ohio State University. We have one of the top programs in the nation at Ohio State with 5 military history professors who examine the topic all or part-time. It's really crucial to understand military history if you want to understand the broad sweep of history. What historians, anthropologists, sociologists are finding is that military affairs and conflict have been absolutely essential in the formation of states, in the development of civilization and societies. And if you don't study it, you won't understand it. The creation of and use of military forces has been an essential ingredient in the way human beings have evolved, and that's not going to change. We haven't reached the end of history with the end of the Cold War. There was a trend in the early 90s to say, well, democracy is going to take over and goodness and light is going to prevail. But what we've seen in the post-Cold War era is a variety of conflicts, the resumption of state-on-state conflicts, 2 wars with Iraq, the Russian invasion of Georgia, just some examples, irregular wars that the United States has been fighting since 1990, and certainly since 2001. Peacekeeping operations in the Balkans, humanitarian operations that went kinetic in Somalia, and then of course the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq have been very difficult for the United States to prosecute. Hybrid conflicts, which blend the characteristics of state-on-state conflict and irregular war, and then of course the ongoing scourge of terrorism. All these things are with us and they're going to remain with us for the foreseeable future, and we absolutely need to understand them if we're going to develop the kind of policies that will propel the United States and its allies and Western civilization forward into the 21st century and to keep the world peaceful. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme in significant and important ways. And so I think it's really important to understand the challenges the world faces today, to understand military history. The policy failures of the last decade, I think, can be tied to a misunderstanding of history, misunderstanding of military affairs, and an over-reliance on the military element of state power. And I think had our national leaders understood more fully military history and how force is so problematical when it's employed, that they would have approached the wars of 9/11 in a much more different light. And so here at Ohio State and other institutions of academia, I think it's really important that we educate and train the forthcoming leaders of the next generation in these matters so that when they reach those positions of power, they understand more broadly the element of force and the use of force in the world today and in the future.